This is SWBC Mortgage's Cowboys Crosstalk.
Check this out.
Broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star in Frisco. Brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by SWBC Mortgage. Customized solutions to help you meet your personal and business goals. Visit SWBC.com. Now, your host, Shannon Gross. Your host, Shannon Gross.
Welcome to the show, and you are going to be hard-pressed to find a better lineup anywhere. I challenge you than the lineup we have tonight. We got the old band back together. To my right is Brian Broaddus. How have you been, Brian?
I've missed you, Shannon.
Man, I have not more than I've missed you.
Well, thank you. Great to be with you guys, man. I walked in. I'm a fill-in tonight. I had to fill in.
And look what you walked into.
Look what I walked into. It's like some serious star power here.
I'm telling you.
I mean, we are very fortunate to have two great ones here.
Absolutely. To your right, speaking of one of the great ones, my co-host on Hanging with the Boys, Mr. Nate Newton. How you doing, Nate?
Hut, hut.
Here we go.
Let's go, baby.
And to your right,
Let's go.
It brings me great joy and pleasure to introduce you as Hall of Famer. You brought the ring. I was hoping you'd wear the jacket tonight.
Nah, not tonight.
We're batting 500. Drew Pearson, welcome to the show, Drew.
All right, thank you. Brought the ring.
Let's see it.
The ring's here. The jacket's in the cleaners because I've been sleeping in it ever since I got it. So it's got to be refreshed.
Oh, have you been, and what have you been up to, Drew?
Oh, I've been great. You know, my health is good. That's the blessing after waiting all these years for the opportunity to go into the Pro Football Hall of Fame is that I have my health. I understand what's going on. I can appreciate it, and I can, deliver an acceptance speech for it. So that's the blessing. But other than that, man, I'm in, not to brag or anything, I'm just saying, I'm in 9 Hall of Fames. And none get the recognition like this, okay? None. The other 9, 8 all together, okay?
Yeah.
I mean,
wow.
and when I was in Canton for that week, David Robinson from the Green Bay Packers got up and spoke. And he said he's in all these Hall of Fames and everything, but he didn't get any respect until he got into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and it's a different level. And all I can say is what took them so long.
Yeah, man.
Drew, was there anything along the way as you went through the process that you looked at and you said, man, I didn't expect this? Or did you kind of in your mind have it mapped out how it was going to be?
What I didn't expect was how busy we were that week. I got in on Thursday, actually Wednesday night, and then from then on till I left Tuesday, I mean, it was nonstop doing stuff. But you know what? They couldn't make me mad. Okay?
Right.
What else y'all got, you know?
Right, right.
And then all of the veteran Hall of Famers tell you, hey, this is what you got to deal with, but you come back the next year and the next year after that, it's a great time because you don't have all these responsibilities as the inductee class will have. So it's a great experience. The parade, the town meetings, everything, going out and meeting the fans and autograph sessions and stuff like that. And let me tell you something, not just Cowboy fans, NFL fans, they show up, man. Yeah. I mean, for that game, Pittsburgh and Dallas, I mean, they're out there 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock, tailgating and all that. But they're fans all around. It was a great experience. And here's the final thing on that. We had, Centennial class 10, and then 2021 modern day, 2020 modern day, and then 2021 class. A lot of people going in on one weekend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And a lot of us thought we might get slighted because of that. But let me tell you, the Pro Football Hall of Fame did a tremendous job of making us all feel special. Not just us, but the family down the line, the service that we had, the customer service that we had, was second to none. So hats off to those guys.
My quick question is, when did you take that moment? When did you take that moment and stop? And really say inside, I have arrived. When did that moment come for you?
Well, now, they had me leading off in acceptance. David Baker said, Drew, you waited long enough, so we'll let you go first. I said, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. But waiting back there, because everybody else is out. Right. You're first, so you got to wait till they – and that's when I said, this is real.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
This is the real deal. All right?
Right.
You know, you got your jacket. That was special. But now you look across that stage, and there's Roger Staubach waiting for his name to be called to present you. And you're looking at that bust and everything out there, and you're saying, now this is they can't take it back at this point, okay? They can't take it back at this point. So that's when it really felt real. And the nervousness, you know, I've had nervousness. You know, you play a game, you get that nervous stomach before every game. It's not fear. It's that you want to perform to your max and don't do anything to cost us a football game.
Right.
But this nervousness was different, okay? Yeah. And they're trying to give me water, and I don't want this. I'm not too fired up, you know?
Right.
So anyway, that was the special time leading up to my induction and acceptance. And to have Roger Staubach present me,
unreal.
So blessed, man.
So cool. What was at the stadium? You got your ring at halftime with the other guys. Walk us. What was that day like? Because I was there at the game. I was there on the field when they presented. But you guys had kind of a whole afternoon about that day and getting the rings. What was that like at the stadium that day?
Well, you know, we didn't get anything going until we got to the stadium. They had us there so early.
Yeah.
And good thing, because the traffic was bad trying to get in there. But no, it was just a great feeling. The best feeling was when you're in that suite, and you know, you're there with Cliff Harris, you're there with Jimmy Johnson, Troy Aikman stops by, Emmitt Smith comes by, you know, Bob Lilly shows up, you know, and that's when you feel it, you know. I mean, there's a lot of great Cowboy players. There is no doubt. And when you're recognized, one sitting right here that deserves that recognition.
Absolutely.
You know, so when you're honored like that and you're around these other guys, then you think about the journey, you know. Coming in as an undrafted, I look at the pictures now of me when I was a rookie, you know. No wonder everybody was shaking their head saying, this guy will never make it. You know, I can't believe that was me, that small out there doing that. And you guys know the game was totally different for a wide receiver back then. They beat you up at the line of scrimmage and all this, and this is all new to me, trying to just get off the line of scrimmage. So anyway, just going through all that, you reminisce, and then when you get called to go out there, you can't really hear anything because the crowd is so loud, but you just want to show the appreciation to the people that meant a lot to you while you're accepting this, because this is the icing on the Hall of Fame cake, all right? You get the word, you go in there for the ceremony, you do the ceremony, you get your gold jacket, you get presented, and then you cap it off with the ring.
Okay, the Hall of Fame speech is probably one of the most important speeches you've ever given in your life. But what you did at the draft in Philadelphia to those folks.
On behalf of the 5 times. Yeah.
All right, now, kind of walk us through that a little bit, because you started off calm, and at what point in time you said, I'm going to stick it to every one of these Philadelphia Eagle fans?
When they kept booing me.
Okay, but you heard the boos, and you ramped it up.
Oh, yeah.
You said, okay, listen, you guys can't, you never covered me when I played in Philadelphia.
Right.
You're not going to cover me now. So, but it got higher, and as loud as they got, you got louder with them.
Right. And, you know, I've been in the radio TV business for a long time.
Sure.
And one of the first things you're taught is the mic always picks you up.
Right.
You don't have to yell or anything like that. But the fever pitch and the emotional level was so high.
Yeah.
And then looking at that crowd and going crazy out there, and 90% Eagle fans.
Sure.
And I'm looking for that one Cowboy fan that I could relate to in the audience. But as I was walking around, coming down and walking across the stage, the boos got louder and louder.
Yeah.
Then I started speaking, it got louder and louder. So I thought I needed to get louder and louder to be heard. So that was just emotion. I had planned on saying what I was going to say, because sitting back in that green room for about 2 hours, watching everybody else go out there and read their card and come right back, I said, I'm a marketing guy, Okay?
Right.
I'm like Jerry. I'm going to take advantage of these 2 minutes that I got, okay, on national TV.
Right.
And so I said, I'm going to do a little something different. So I had planned on saying what I said, but not that delivering it that way.
See, as a guy that's been a part of war rooms, I would have been sitting in another team going, he gets it.
Yeah.
He gets it. That guy right that gets it right there. That to me, like I say, and the reaction in the Cowboy war room when they were all standing up and the smiles on everybody's faces because of that and stuff like that. So
it was pretty cool.
That sports hate for Philadelphia is pretty
you're
good.
You're a guy that wasn't drafted.
Right.
Now he's known for the draft.
Yeah.
Okay,
now you're known for the draft.
I just didn't.
You made your mark.
Hey, I just didn't get the money like draft picks get in between.
Wow.
All right, I tell you what, let's take our first break, and then when we come back, let's talk about these modern-day Cowboys. I want to talk to you about the receiving core, what they've been able to do without Michael Gallup, what you see in Amari, possibly the best route runner in the NFL. What do you see out of CD? What do you think of Dak so far? Like, he's done everything they've asked him to do and more. Broadus, want to get your take on all that. Nate, you know, you can't be this quiet the whole show.
No, I'm going to enjoy it, man. I'm going to enjoy this, man.
All right.
He undrafted, I'm undrafted. Hey, let's do this.
Let's talk about that, too, when we come back. All that and more. You are listening to Cowboys Crosstalk on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network.
Check this out. Broadcasting live from the Cowboys Club at the Star in Frisco.
Welcome back to the show, and what a show it is. Shannon Gross joined by Brian Broadus of our flagship station 105.3 The Fan. To his right, Nate Newton, 3-time Super Bowl champ.
What's up? What's
6-time
up?
Pro Bowler.
What's up?
How many? 6?
6 times.
Wow.
And to his
Those
right,
guys in the hall ain't got 6 Pro Bowls
I'm telling
in
you,
the offensive
I'm
line.
telling you, we need to start that campaign. Drew.
Amen.
I'm on that.
I am in the Hall of Fame.
You are?
Yes, sir. I am in the Hall of Fame. Trust me.
Okay.
When you grow up, I was 9, 10 years, 11 years old, Cowboy fan.
Yeah.
And you mean to tell me I'm still working for the Cowboys? I am in the
I hear you,
Hall
man.
of Fame.
I hear
I
you.
promise you, bro. I am in it.
And to your right, member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, Drew Pearson. And before we get back to it,
Hood.
Broadus, did you know that at SWBC they have customized solutions for individuals and businesses
Yeah,
that
I
are
heard
just
this.
a click away?
Great company.
Yes. During the next break, don't do it on the show because we got too much to talk about, but go visit swbc.com to learn more and start your next adventure.
I tell you what, I'm all about adventure, and I'm all about that company. So appreciate
Let's
them being
go.
with us.
Absolutely. Me too. All right, Drew.
Yes, sir.
What do you think about these current day Cowboys off to a 3-1 start, looking pretty darn good on offense? I don't think anyone saw the defense coming out of nowhere like it has. What is your overall assessment of the team in general?
Well, first of all, they should be 4-0. All right.
Absolutely.
You can't give games away in the NFL. So, but no, I'm totally impressed with what I'm seeing. And the difference is attitude, effort. Guys look like they're being held accountable for their play or lack of play out there on the field. And they're making tough decisions if you're not accountable for what you're supposed to do per your assignment out there. So it's just an attitude change. I mean, these guys are hitting, throwing themselves around out there, getting after it. They're not waiting for somebody else to make the play. They want to get there to make the play themselves. And then you look at the offense, man, they are rolling. What are they, over 400 yards a game, And Dak's completion percentage is, 75?
Yeah.
I think that's what mine was throwing the ball.
Yeah.
I threw 3 touchdowns in the NFL, just in case y'all want to know. 5 for 7.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the 2 I didn't complete were interceptions. One on Monday Night Football against the Redskins. Oh, my God. Coach Landry never called that play again. But anyway, you look at the offense. That offensive line is functioning.
Yes.
They're healthy. They're getting after it. I heard something about Lyle Collins today. I don't know what that situation is about. Brian, you can update us on that, about him coming back and when that might – and that will add to the offensive line. And then you got that creates the running game. Now Dak's got the play action. And then you go to the receivers, man. And I just love the way they're using everybody. They're not just standing you out there. When Amari caught that touchdown, didn't he come in motion and go back? Who does that? We did it back in the day. And that's what I like to see that,
Yes.
because otherwise, otherwise, it's a little tougher for Amari to get open because, he's right there, the DB's there. But now they don't know what he's going to do. But the other guys as well, they're including everybody, and I like the way they're using the tight ends.
Absolutely.
Whoa, man.
Yeah.
Those guys, somebody's going to have to get some money up for these guys because they're performing.
Yep.
And not just catching the ball, but blocking as well. The holes that are being created. And then you got your backs with Pollard. But the guy that, get Gallup back will be even better. CD's playing well. He's taking it the next step. He's improving. But the guy that really has stepped up since Gallup has been out is Cedric Wilson.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've always had my eye on this guy. I said the Cowboys better not cut this guy. He's a player. Every time he got an opportunity to do something, he did something. He did something. He made something happen. He knows the offense. He knows the system. And so now when we have the Gallup out, the drop-off to Cedric Wilson ain't that great. And plus, you could probably do a lot more things with Cedric Wilson because I think he might be a better runner after the catch than Gallup. So
let me say this, man. And Shannon know I get on a kick on the guy. And I've been on this guy since last year. He's a big play way there. Where he is more consistent than C.D. Lamb. He's more consistent than Gallup because he catch every ball. See, we know C.D. Lamb is off the charts, but he'll shake us. Oh, you missed that. Oh, Gallup, why?
Yeah.
But this kid here, nah, he catching everything because he know his plays are limited, and when you know your plays are limited, it keeps you sharp.
Yeah, well, he's sharp. He's a good player. He steps up when they need him, and that tells me he's prepared.
Yes.
He knows his assignments, and they ain't got to coach him up. He's already coached.
Coach McCarthy said he's one of the players that he knows every position, he does his job well, and he can do it on minimum amount of reps in practice.
Right on. Right on.
I'm glad
That says a
Drew
lot.
mentioned the tight ends, though.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the running game has been effective, but the receivers, as Drew's talked about as well, they're spreading the ball around to the receivers, different opportunities, different formations, whether 11 personnel with the 3 receivers. But what I'd like to see in the Cowboys is they get in that 12 personnel with the 2 tight ends.
Yes, sir.
And all of a sudden, then it's not just with tight ends. It used to be the boot and the waggle, the movement, and then get him in the open. But they're creating opportunities for these wide receivers, and the tight ends. If you look at the route in the Philadelphia game that Schultz scores on, Amari Cooper runs a post, holds the safety. They take the running back and run him on the wheel, and it widens the corner. But what does that do? It gives Schultz an alley for him to get the ball. So a lot of creativity, not only with the receivers, but also with the tight ends and the interchanging of those backs. When you get 2 backs that are basically averaging 6-7 yards a shot running the football, that makes that defense have to play with some physicality and tackle, and that wears you down. If you're one-dimensional, they can rush the passer. Nate will tell you he hates playing. If they become one-dimensional, Drew loves catching the ball. Nate hates pass blocking every single play. He wants to beat up on somebody to kind of slow them up. But they've done a great job with the balance of their offense. When Dak, it seems like a recipe. Dak throws for over 400-something yards, they might lose the game. Dak, if you have more rushes than throws, that's a recipe for Dak and them winning these football games.
And to piggyback on what you guys said, all these different formations, the way they move the tight ends, and this saves steal. Because they'll motion a guy away, then they'll bring a guy back over to that defensive end like, I got it. All of a sudden you see 2 back sets over there, two tight end sets over there. That helps your offensive tackle. And I'm no steal like, thanks, coach.
No, I
Coach.
think Nate brought up a great point, because what happened, if you watch the Chargers game, they knew that Joey Bosa was over there.
Yes.
So what do? They fan him outside, and then they chip him with a tight end, or they wham block him, or they never it never was one of those things like with the previous regime. It would be, okay, Chaz Green, you've got him for 68 plays.
Right.
Good luck. What they've done with Steele is they know Steele's limitations, and they're saying, listen, let's help him on these plays. And then you watch the Philadelphia game on Monday night, he's doing a lot more single blocking.
His confidence, man.
His confidence gets up, and then you go back to helping him some more. So this coaching staff has done a great job of taking their players that they have, whether it's Cedric Wilson, Schultz, Steele, one of those guys, and then they're helping them along the way, and they're not asking them to carry the entire load. Right. They're saying, hey, we're going to help you, we're going to supplement things for you, and we're going to give you the opportunity to make some plays.
Drew, you know a thing or two about good quarterback play. We've got a pretty good one on this team now that's done nothing but get better every year and do everything they've asked him to do, and it looks like this year he's doing things they aren't asking him to do. He's commanding the game, and my personal opinion, I think he's in the edge of that elite quarterback conversation, and Nate will tell you
doesn't take long to call the roll for that group.
Yeah.
Those elite guys.
Yeah, and Nate will tell you go win me one, and then you get in that conversation. But I think he's right there. What do you see out of Dak right now?
I think he's in the mix of the best quarterbacks in the league. He ain't on the edge anymore, and he really wasn't on the edge. People put him on the edge.
Thank you.
He's been playing lights out ever since he's been here. You think coming in as a rookie, you look at these rookie quarterbacks now coming in struggling, having a rough time. If you don't have legs to when the protection breaks down and scramble out of there, as a rookie quarterback nowadays, you're in trouble. But Dak came through all that. How many coordinators did he play with before things settled down with Kellen Moore? So, I mean, I've always thought, even when I was doing the post-game shows with Newey, when they drafted him in the 4th round, at Mississippi State, I said, that's a great pick. You watch. And you watch him develop. The thing I liked initially was his leadership. abilities. Okay, he's got the same leadership qualities as Roger Staubach, Danny White, Troy Aikman, Romo, all those guys, no different, even more so in some cases. But then, I mean, just the way he approaches things, that's the kind of guy you want in the locker room to set the tempo, to set the trend of what we got to do to be successful. So I always thought Dak was in that upper echelon. It's everybody else that was criticized. He can't do this. Oh, he can't throw long. Well, didn't he have the best deep completion percentage for a couple years and taking the team to the playoffs and stuff like that? But then coming off that injury, Nate, you know, if we sustained that kind of injury back in the day, we're done.
You're done.
Yeah.
We're done.
You're done.
Yeah.
You know? But now with technology, medical, and all that, you can recover. But to recover the way he has, wow, that says a lot about this guy. And I'm glad he's got his money. We don't have to worry about that anymore. Yep. So let's just play football. Let him keep being Dak and doing this thing.
Yeah, I think the thing with Prescott, when you watch him, Drew's right. There was never a question of toughness or physicality or leadership or anything like that. As quarterbacks, you want them to develop to be able to see the field. You want their accuracy to improve. You know, it helps. You have route runners like Amari Cooper, guys like CeeDee Lamb that make circus catches, guys like Jarwin and Schultz that, you know, them and the backs and all that. A lot of help along the way, but the quarterback has to help himself, though, too. His ability to read, to see, to find, to know what he has to do. You know, they lose Travis Frederick at center, and all of a sudden you have a young center. Now it turns in from Travis Frederick making line calls and helping with protections to Dak Prescott now identifying and then making sure that everybody is on the same page. So the more you put on his plate, the better he's performed. He's one of those guys to me with you just keep loading the wagon. He's going to make sure it gets to the next town.
Drew,
and let me say this about Amari Cooper. Mm-hmm. He's a bad man, all right? He doesn't get enough respect on a national level. Yeah. You know, I mean, the route running, playing through injuries and stuff like that. I mean, I just love his demeanor, everything. He's the right kind of person to be leading that young receiver group.
Well, let me ask you this, though. If he was on your team in 1975 or so, and someone wanted to play chess with him, who would have been able to play chess on that 75 team with him? Is there somebody that would have been able to take him in that game?
75? Oh, yeah, Jeff Rohr.
Jeff Rohr.
From Yale.
Yeah. Jeff was smart. Jeff was smart.
What about you, Nate? What about the 90s Cowboys?
The 90s Cowboys? We all played checkers and dominoes.
Slamming them dominoes.
We would have scared him to death.
Yeah.
Damn. All right, let's take our next break. I know you guys want to talk more and more offense, but this would not be a Dallas Cowboys football talk show if we did not give this defense some credit after what we.
For what?
Okay, we'll talk about that. You know what? We'll talk about that and more when we come back. You're listening to Cowboys Crosstalk on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network.
SWBC Mortgage's Cowboys Crosstalk.
Check this out.
Broadcasting live from the Cowboys Club at the Star in Frisco.
Welcome back to the star-studded lineup we have here at Cowboys Club. Brian Broaddus to my right, Nate Newton to his right, and Hall of Famer Drew Pearson to his right. And before we get back to it, SWBC Mortgage. Join the more than 120,000 customers that we've helped to find their happier way home. Visit SWBCmortgage.com to find a pro today. Do it before Brian Broaddus does it.
Yeah, you want me to get called right after the show, right?
Yeah,
That can help me, right?
I want you to look it up right after the last. Right
I
after
will
we sign
on the way
off.
in the elevator. I'll look that up.
Don't do it in the car.
No, but thanks to the folks.
You're welcome.
Thank those folks.
Yeah, I will. You just did,
I
actually.
appreciate them.
All right, fellas. Drew, let's start with you. We got a pretty good cornerback on this team, it seems. In Trayvon Diggs. What do you see out of young number 7?
Just athletic ability. And, everybody's already made the comparisons to Everson Walls. And a lot of it is not necessarily his ability to cover, because I don't think he's there yet with Everson Walls. Mm-hmm. But his ability, once he puts his hands on the ball, it's his. Everson Walls had the second best hands on the team. Well, third best. I got to give Tony Hill his props.
Tony Hill, yeah.
Yeah. But, Everson Walls, anything he touched, he got. That's why he got all those interceptions. So just the athletic ability and knowledge of the game. He seems to know and be able to recognize things. That one interception, he jumped the route, didn't he? If I recall.
Yes.
Because I don't sit there and watch the game intently like you guys. I'm walking around the house.
Yeah.
I'm doing this. I'm eating a rib or something,
Yeah, putting on your Hall of Fame jacket, walking out in the yard.
mowing the yard.
Walking through the
That's why it's in
neighborhood.
the cleaners. He stained it with that rib.
Yeah, so. Yeah, the barbecue sauce. But anyway, he's a good player. Just hope he continues to improve, because now I don't know if he'll be attacked. I think teams will probably start leaning to go away from him because he's that good.
All right, let me ask you a question about that, Drew, because what he's doing is, okay, in a game against the Cowboys, he would probably travel with you. He would, they would try and say, okay, we got to take Drew Pearson out of this game. So he's going to travel with you. If you're an offense and you're an opponent, are you going to say, listen, our best player, we're not going to throw him the ball? See, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
I kind of feel like that he's still going to have opportunity, because who in their right mind would say, listen, we're not going to throw the ball to Drew Pearson today just because Diggs is on him.
Yeah.
I still think there's going to be opportunity for him to make plays.
You're at least going to test it, right?
You can't make your offense one way or the other.
Right.
I mean, right hand or all left hand.
Exactly.
It's got to be both hands.
I'm not throwing to
if you
option.
take away yourself half the field because you don't want to catch somebody.
I got Drew Pearson, Hall of Fame receiver, and Diggs is trailing him, and I'm sitting there going, wait a minute, I'm not going to throw the ball to my Hall of Fame receiver. So I still think people are going to try.
Well, you have to at least test it, right?
I
You got to at
think
least try it.
The thing about that is, I saw that, and it caused some hell. Bro, Michael Irvin had did it with Atlanta. Dion was there.
Yeah.
And they said, we ain't throwing it, Dion. And Mike stood out there all day. We lost that game.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Mike, we got off that plane. They threw him the first 6 balls the next game. Like, this ain't never happened to me.
You come back and we do our Wednesday show, and we haven't thrown the ball to Drew Pearson.
Yeah.
Fans are going to be with the pitchforks and the torches coming like, why aren't you using your best receiver? So that's why I think Diggs can continue to develop and continue to get better. Because if you're going to tell me I'm going to go away from my best receiver who he's traveling with, man, I'm going to get fired.
Yeah.
I'm not okay, that's great because I'll lose the game, for the Cowboys. If they throw to option B and C the whole game and not to option A, this is a good situation for the Cowboys because of the way that kid can play. And, with the comparisons, and I saw Drew and them as growing up as a kid, I saw them playing with walls and stuff like that, the length, the reach, the ability to go get the football, the sticky coverage, the ability to jam, to turn, to redirect. These are things that, he might not be the fastest guy, but what he is, he's really good at staying in position and then playing with his eyes and finding the ball. A lot of these cornerbacks can't find the ball, and they get holding penalties, pass interference. It's a 50-yard penalty. This kid's either going up and he's playing you for the ball. He's going, I'm going to get this one. This is one of mine.
Nate, what have you seen out of, Cowboy teams in recent history? You get one key player on the offensive line or defensive line go down, and they kind of forget how to play football, right?
We talked. Me and Brothers talked about it a lot. How do you fold when one guy go down?
Yeah.
Right. Well, we got
it
several
used to be Sean
guys.
Lee.
Yeah.
Remember
Yeah.
Sean Lee?
Yeah.
Sean Lee's not. If Sean Lee was out of the game, the Cowboys were going to give up 280 yards rushing.
Yeah.
So now
Every time.
Now we got DeMarcus Lawrence gone. Yeah. We got Collins gone.
Gallimore.
We got Gallimore gone, and which I don't know who Gallimore is. And I'm telling people, be careful with that because now Gallimore has to earn his way back into the lineup.
Oh, I like what you're saying here.
I'm not finna just, hey, man, Osi done did a hell of a job. Go to the – no, sir.
It's kind of like Dalton Schultz.
Yeah, we'll put you on the snap count, Gallimore, and get you ready.
Yeah.
Now, D-Law may command a little bit more respect.
Yeah.
But even D-Law has to walk in kind of like –
and I'll let Collins play. If Collins wants his right tackle
Collins,
job. Yeah, if he wants his right tackle.
You the only one.
Certain guys can step right back into the spot. Yeah.
What's the update up? Drew mentioned it earlier. What's the update on Lyle?
Yeah, he's in a situation right now where they're looking to basically take the NFL to court to get these last 2 games of his suspension revoked. And so this is dangerous in my eyes because now if you'd gone 0-3 and we'd be screaming and we're giving up sacks and it's bad and all that. If I'm Collins, and I'm Peter Schaefer, the lawyer, he thinks he's got some type of ability, a loophole or something to kind of work around to maybe make the league have to give those games back. It's a tough call, but you've gone through 3 games. There's some talk that like early before this even happened that the league was saying, listen, we'll give you a couple of games, just work with us.
Yeah.
And they're like, no. So now you get 5 games thrown at you. So, you're 3 in. You've got 2 more. To me, don't keep poking the bear.
It's the Giants and then who?
New England.
New England.
Yeah, just keep
let's play
and I
this out.
understand.
One game at a time.
I understand.
Stay focused, week to week.
It's tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
But this is a 2-way street. It's not just Lyle Collins. It's the league has their reasons, and so okay, it happened. Let's put it behind us. Let's move on. Like a Randy Gregory, stuff like that. Those are suspensions. Move on. Try and get your life going again. But I think with Lyle, I mean, this is something. If it's going to be a Hail Mary, if it's going to be a Hail Mary here, then you should have done the Hail Mary to start the game. I mean, basically. I would have said let's take the NFL to court before all this. Now with the 2 games left, I don't think they're going to win this challenge.
Let's stay on the defense for a second. Drew and Nate, this question is for both of you. Micah Parsons, what they're doing with him on defense. I've seen other teams do what they're doing, but I can't recall, at least in recent history, a guy that can do and them ask him to do what he's doing right now with his team, moving him all over the field. Nate, you've talked about it before, not comparing him to Lawrence Taylor, but that's what they used to do with LT was move him all over the place.
The Seattle Seahawks did that with their linebackers a little bit, didn't they, Brothers?
Yeah, to me, I think real quick, and I'll let these guys talk, this guy is Willie McGinnis to me.
Yeah.
If you watch the old New England, tall, big, physical, beat you up at the line, run like a son of a gun, tackle, finish. This is Willie McGinnis. When you talk about Lawrence Taylor, that's a low-running, shoulder down on the ground, beating the blocker, coming around the end. Him, Derek Thomas, those are those guys that were those elite-type pass rushers. I think when you watch Parsons rush, he doesn't have enough tools in the tool belt yet. He needs to figure out how to swat, swim, rip, pull, all the things you can do with your hands. But he'll get there. He'll figure it out. But to me, when I watch him play, I think of Willie McGinnis from the New England Patriots as my guy.
And that was brought to us last week about Lawrence Taylor. It's certain people, like I try to tell them, tap your brakes. This kid is still learning.
Yeah.
So I'm with you, man. And I know the Cowboys are not going to do this, but I'm telling you, man, I would really like for him to talk to Belichick to Bill Parcells. You're talking about people that know linebackers and know linebackers play. And this kid got it all, man. Mm-hmm. But I know the Cowboys be like, man, no, sir, that's tampering.
Any thought though? Any thought that you would make him a full-time defensive end?
No. You know what? This is what I say. I want him at linebacker, and I've always said that. But what what does it take to win? If it's defensive end and he's your top 3 or top 2 defensive ends, you got to play the games.
Yeah.
You got to play the game. So it's about winning. My question is, if you put him out there a lot, then he slows down his learning at that linebacker because they ask their linebackers to do a lot.
I'll tell you what, Nate, they load the wagon on that kid.
Yeah.
Remember in OTAs, mini camps, training camps, you and I are standing there watching practice, and they're running him down there to one-on-one pass rush drills. Then they're running him back to cover a running back.
Yeah.
He gets an interception. Then he run him down over here to do – I mean, the kid's done everything but play slot corner.
Yeah.
You know? And I think he could play slot corner if he had to.
So what's your thoughts, Drew?
Yeah, I don't watch it that closely, so I don't know how they're really using him.
Sure.
All I know when I do watch it, and he's there. He shows up.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, he's around the huddle. If he ain't in the huddle, he's around the huddle.
Right.
He's there. He shows up. And while you were talking about what position, linebacker or defensive end, it kind of reminds me of the situation with Randy White.
Randy White. I knew he was going to say Randy White.
When he came in, Coach Landry didn't know what to do with Randy White.
But they were talking
But he was
about
a ball player. We got to find a place for him.
Yeah, he was a linebacker basically at Maryland.
Yeah, yes.
And then they started to play the flex, and he became this off-the-ball, defensive tackle that was like Aaron Donald. He was like a Drew Pearson era of Aaron Donald.
Right.
I mean, disruptive, hard-to-block kind of a guy.
Yeah.
So,
Unbelievable. But they didn't know what to do with him at first, too. But it reminds me of the same kind of situation. Just be a football player right now till we figure this out.
Yes,
because that's what we need over there. And by being a football player with his athletic ability and talent, he can make plays. He can get that ball back, put the pass rush on. Don't we lead the league in turnovers?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's a reason because we're putting pressure on those quarterbacks.
Yeah, this is the thing. If he becomes a full-time pass rusher, then he's going to be part of a rotation. But if he's a linebacker, he only missed one play last week. That was it. But if you put him in the rotation as a rusher, then he's probably going to play 30, 40, 50 plays, and not all the plays.
Man, you
can't take
why is he got to rotate?
Yeah.
Play the game, man. Jeez, stay on the field.
You know what?
Come on, man. You in shape or not? Play the game.
He's in shape.
I need you 50, 60 plays. I can't take you out. When we take you out, we lose something. Just like a lot of these receivers.
Thank you.
They run on first down, they run for a long one, then they got their hand up. Hey, buddy, it's 2nd and 10. We might need you out there.
Let me tell you something,
man.
Shannon, to tell you, we do a show,
Pet peeve. I'm just saying.
You're not wrong.
We do the show. We do a show together, man. And this right here, and certain things, I'm very protective of a Dallas Cowboy player. Certain things, I'm not. When it's crunch time, I need DeMarcus Lawrence in the game, not over there with his hands on his
That's what I'm saying.
I hate that.
Or Zeke on the sideline after
Come on,
you know,
Zeke.
Come on, man.
All right, let's take our last
Feed
break.
yourself.
When we
Shit,
come back,
I would never. If that took me out,
I don't know
would
what
be,
these two guys are talking about.
Eat,
Hey,
man.
if Coach Landry took me out, I'd be so afraid. Oh, Lord.
we will talk about. We have a football game at home again this weekend against
do.
the New York Football Giants. Let's
And
talk.
Brian got a better opinion than I do.
Let's talk about that when we come back. We have very special guest, Hall of Famer Drew Pearson on the show. We'll be right back. You're listening to Cowboys Crosstalk on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network.
SWBC Mortgage's Cowboys Crosstalk.
Check this out.
Broadcasting live from the Cowboys Club at the Star in Frisco.
SWBC PEO, helping to alleviate the HR administrative burden that comes with running a business. Leave the worrying to us. Do like Broadus and visit swbcpeo.com to find out more. Shannon Gross here with Brian Broadus, Nate Newton, and Hall of Famer Drew Pearson. Our last segment of the show.
Sounds nice. Can you say that again?
Hall of Famer Drew Pearson, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. Long time, long overdue.
How
Long
cool
overdue.
is that, man? Pretty
That's
cool.
so cool, man. So cool that you're on the show.
You know what, man? I'm tell you, man, what you went through, bro.
Yeah.
I was finna wreck the Hall of Fame about 2 years ago. They better be glad they
You
had a
and
pandemic.
David Baker about to throw down.
I was finna be like, yo, big
Big
fella.
David Baker's on.
Yeah.
Nate's on his back, like trying to wrestle him to the
Oh,
ground.
I'd have got him to the ground. A bull on.
Good
Man.
luck, Nate. That's a big man.
That is a big man.
And you know when he'll get tired, though, you get right up close, he'll get tired.
Nate would lean on him, wear him down, wear him down.
It's like a run, like the run game, baby. 4 quarters.
David Baker is like, what, 6'?
That's where you
6'8"?
proud.
I saw.
He's a big man.
He's like 6'8", probably
When he had
4 bills.
I saw Nate.
I
was
can't
on-
imagine him playing football. Where are you going to get a helmet for that head?
Oh,
Yeah, man.
I told him that. I said, man, you played without a helmet, didn't you?
I saw Nate wear down. I was in Green Bay. He wore down Big Gilbert Brown, so I know he could wear down a 340-pound man.
Gilbert Brown.
man.
Wow, that was a big man.
I will
was a
tell you
big
what,
man.
man. Mr. Baker,
Yeah.
that's a bust in itself.
That is.
That's two. That's two.
That's why he has no spot. We got no room for him.
He's got his own. He's got his own
Yeah,
wing.
they'd be 300. There's 354. He'd be 355, 56.
Drew, before we talk about the Giants, I know Nate's answer to this. Nate's answer to who did he hate to face the most? Jerome Brown.
Yes, sir. I hated that.
That
dude.
was his guy.
Yeah. I
John
hated
Randall?
him.
Right on.
Jerome Brown.
I was scared of him.
Oh,
I
okay.
hated.
John
I
Randall,
hated.
yeah.
I hated.
Who was your nemesis back when you played? Who did you despise going against back
The
in the
best
day?
cornerback I played against by far was Mel Blunt with the Pittsburgh
Oh,
Steelers.
wow.
Yeah.
Bad man.
Yeah.
Really?
6'4", 205, ran a 4.5 40.
Yeah.
Playing in the steel curtain defense with all them great pass rushers, them awesome linebackers.
Right.
And in third down situation, you know, he's the reason the rule changed, the Mel Blunt rule, because in '79, because before then, you couldn't get off the line of scrimmage on him.
It was like a punt.
Any pass.
Those guys were like, it's like flyers out there.
Oh,
They were
man.
beating you up.
And, you know, they're beating you up. He's cocked inside.
Yeah.
He's 6'4". He's not going to let you in there. And he can beat you up all the way downfield. And then they got Mike Wagner or Donnie Shell covering up deep. And so you're supposed to wiggle him and come inside. You can't get away. So on third down, Tony Hill and I, we were upset with this. We were pissed off.
Yeah.
You know, our job was to clear it out. Yeah. You know, get off the line, clear it out, take 2 guys with you. Preston underneath, Butch underneath, Billy Joe underneath. And we had to deal with that. Most passes I ever caught against the Steelers or Mel Blunt was on first or second down when they're playing a run defense.
Right.
And now you can get off the line of scrimmage. But most of the guys, when I look at these cornerbacks now, and they, you know, like Brian said in the beginning, just find the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, they're there.
Yeah.
But then they lose confidence. They start grabbing and holding.
Oh,
and,
yeah,
and it's
man.
like so blatant, man. I would draw that, okay? I would post those guys up and draw the foul each and every time because it seems to be so easy. And then when you have injuries, the talent at corner in the NFL now even drops off even further.
Yeah.
So let's take advantage of that with our passing game. You know, let's go downfield, mix it up, play action, run the football, keep them off balance. I love what we're doing offensively.
Let's talk a little bit about the game this weekend.
Yeah.
Giants coming to town. 3:25 kickoff. What are we going to see, Broadus?
Jason Garrett in the parking lot, the moon,
The moon,
wherever,
yeah, wherever.
325.
Yeah.
I think with the Giants, what you get, really nice win with them going to New Orleans last week and getting that done.
That
New
surprised
Orleans-
you?
Yeah, it really did. They did a good job of blocking. I thought they did a good job of blocking the Saints front. Something's wrong with the Saints. Maybe it's the quarterback situation there, but the one thing I've noticed about they've got Saquon Barkley back. Yeah, and we all know Jason Garrett is going to want to get in some tight formations and try and run the football. I don't think their offensive line is good enough to just sit there and hammer you. It's going to be about Barkley trying to find some space, trying to bounce it outside. They're going to throw him some screens. They're going to try and throw it to him in the flat. He's still an explosive player. And with Daniel Jones, the quarterback there, he's not turning the ball over like he used to. It used to be when you get to him in the pocket, you could count on him dropping the ball. He's been a lot better with that. You know, the protection, he's got this ability to kind of move around. If the Giants are going to run the ball on you, we talked about Barkley, but they do the read option stuff where they pull the ball, and it's Daniel Jones, the quarterback, hurting you. We saw last week with Sam Darnold, there were a couple of times where you lose contain, or he sees a hole and then he's going to take it. Daniel Jones could be the same type of guy. They're really banged up at wide receiver right now, but Kenny Golladay, I think, is a really good player for them. And he's a guy that I anticipate Diggs probably traveling with Golladay. They've got a couple of guys, like I say, that have some hamstring problems there. But, overall, offensively, they're still kind of trying to find their way with Garrett. I'd say on defensively, they're not playing as well as they had in the past.
Oh, yes, sir.
They're not. I mean, and they've got I think they've got a pretty good front. When you talk about their best pass rusher is Ojulari, who they drafted the second round from Georgia. The Giants have always been a team that's had good pass rushers. Jason Pierre-Paul, guys like that. They've had guys, but they really don't. It's really about big inside physical players. So the Cowboys, they've dealt with that before in this season. They've dealt with it in Tampa with those big inside guys. They dealt with it in Philadelphia with those big inside guys. They dealt with it this past Sunday against Carolina a little bit with some big inside guys. So how the Cowboys handle that and then get that guy some help, with on the outside there, Steele, get him a little help. I think there's some chances to make some plays. I think it's a pretty good secondary. At the safety spot, I think that's probably a little bit of their strength, though. But Bradbury's a good corner. But they'll have their hands full having to deal with this offense and how they're attacking right now.
Drew, what do you want to see out of the Cowboys this weekend?
Just win the game. Play it, you know. Don't talk about this or that, what I'm going to do, what I can't do. Let's just go out and play. This is the division game. It's an important game. It's a home game, and we got to win it. It's the next most important game on our schedule. So let's go out and win it. I haven't been following the Giants, that closely. They had a nice game with the comeback last week. They're going to come in here with some momentum and all that enthusiasm. So we got to make sure we get a good start, and then get our crowd involved like they were against Philadelphia.
Absolutely.
And then control the game from there.
7 or 8 different offensive line changes for them. Just how they have, I think 3 guys, and I'm not going to go into 3 guys.
Thomas, their left tackle, has a foot problem right now. So
these dudes ain't ready. And Broadus, I like your analogy. I'll use some of it tomorrow on my TV show.
Right on.
But beat the Giants because they're beatable.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Real quick,
We
got a
should
minute
win.
left. Broadus, want to give us a prediction, or is it too early in the week?
No, I'll take one. I think the Cowboys are capable of scoring the 31 points they have. I think they're going to put 31 up. You'll probably get the Giants with, I would say, 21. I'll make it an 11-point game, a 10-point game.
Nate?
31-21.
Oh, well, I need 1 point. I need the victory.
Yeah.
Cowboys by 1?
Yeah, you like me. I always pick the Cowboys. Just 1 point.
That's it.
Cowboys 34-17.
Cool.
I like our defense holding them down and keeping them out of the end zone. We get some turnovers, have small, short field position for our offense to score. And if we have to drive it, drive it.
Broadus, it's been a pleasure, man.
Thank
Good
you,
hanging
man.
out
Appreciate
with you
it. Thank
again.
you so much.
Absolutely. Nate, it's always a pleasure to see
Good
you
job there,
twice in one day.
Yes.
This has been Cowboys Crosstalk. This has been one of the best shows we've had, all because of Hall of Famer Drew Pearson on the show. Thank you, Drew.
Pay me, man. Pay me.
This has been Cowboys Crosstalk on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.